All right, so we are going to look at three different problems. Here is the first one. And what's weird about this one is that 7 minus x. But let's just go ahead and keep it like that in this first option, and I'm going to show you a second way that we could handle it. So in this first option, we have our denominators of x plus 2 and 7 minus x. Well, they don't have any factors in common, so our lowest common denominator is actually both of them together. Which means that if we go ahead and expand this out, we're going to go ahead and multiply that first set by the 7 minus x over itself, because really that's just multiplying by 1, and that's okay to do. And the second one, multiply that by x plus 2 over x plus 2. So that now we actually have that common denominator of x plus 2 times a 7 minus x. And up top here, now we have an x times the quantity 7 minus x plus x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2. Now we're going to go ahead and distribute this x, and then we're going to use FOIL to do first, outer, inner, last. Okay, so go ahead and push pause and see if you can go ahead and do that, and then come back when you're ready. Okay, now our next step is going to be combining like terms. So again, if you haven't done that already, go ahead and push pause and give it a try now. All right, it looks like we ended up with a 12x plus 6 over that common denominator. If you wanted to, you could factor out a 6 here, leaving me with a 2x plus 1, but it's not absolutely necessary because there's nothing on the bottom that will cancel out with that. So either you could stop here with the 12x plus 6, or fully factored would also be totally fine. Okay, let's go ahead and try a different way. Let's go ahead and look at this as if we were to rewrite the problem with the x out front, because I think that might be what's throwing some people off. So instead of writing 7 minus x, I'm going to bring that negative sign with it and put a negative x plus 7. So now my lowest common denominator is x plus 2 times the quantity negative x plus 7. So again, we'll just look for that factor that's missing. In this first one, it's that negative x plus 7. And in that second one, it's still that x plus 2. It's just now our common denominator is x plus 2 times the quantity negative x plus 7. Okay, so again, we're going to go ahead and distribute and then FOIL. So go ahead and hit pause and give it a try. Okay, so we have this big expanded form here. So go ahead and combine like terms. So our negative x squared and positive x squared cancel out. Now we have 7x plus another 2, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 x's, just like last time. 12x plus 6. And again, you could either stop there, or if you wanted to factor out the 6, that would be great. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's go and compare that. So I'm going to go and scroll back up. I know at the top is the same, and the x plus 2 is the same. You can just see that here we had a 7 minus x, and now we just have negative x plus 7. But 7 minus x is equivalent. And you could try that for yourself if you want to plug in a few different numbers for x and see that they actually are the same. Okay, it's just rewritten, and I understand it looks kind of weird with the x being second. So it's totally up to you, whatever you're more comfortable with, I'm okay with. All right, we have 3 questions here today. So let's go ahead and look at number 2. Now this came off that last test, which is totally fine. Let's take a look at it here. So we have a telephone pole has a wire attached to its top that's anchored to the ground. So here's the ground way over here. I'm gonna write ground so I don't forget. The distance from the bottom of the pole, so it's going to be here, here's the pole, to that anchor point is 56 feet less than the height. So if I go ahead and write, let x be the height of pole, then I would have, here's my pole, and the anchor point is 56 feet less, so subtract x minus 56. If the wire is to be 8 feet longer, so 8 more than the height, what is the height? So x plus 8, so it's more. Okay, now, here we have our 90-degree angle, and whatever is directly across from him, that is our C in our formula. The A and B doesn't matter. It's whatever you'd like to stick in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write x squared plus, I'm going to do the bottom, x minus 56 squared equals an x plus 8 squared. Okay, now remember, we don't just pop in those little squares, right? That really means that we're going to multiply the whole thing out. So x squared plus that x minus 56 times x minus 56 equals an x plus 8 times an x plus 8. So we have a lot of work to do in here, a lot of foiling. This is our next problem here. Let me see if I can scooch it down for us. All right, so go ahead and give this a try. Go ahead and try to multiply everything out, and then come back when you're ready, and I'll work on it at the same time. Okay, so now we have everything set equal to 0. So if you have made it this far, awesome. From here, we're going to go ahead and try to factor it. So you want to find 2 numbers that multiply to 3072, but add to negative 128. Okay, so go ahead and give that a try, and I'm going to work on that too here on my calculator. So you go ahead and push pause, and we'll see if we come up with the same thing. All right, I think we got it. So hopefully you found it fast. I mean, these take me a while. All right, so I got 32 and 96, but it's at negative 128, so they're both going to have to be negative. Okay, so I have, just let me double check it one more time. I want to make sure that's right. So I'm going to do a negative 32 minus a 96 to make sure I do get negative 128, and I do. And then I'm going to do a negative 32 times the negative 96 to make sure I get that 3072, and I do. Awesome. So leading coefficient is 1. That means I can jump to the shortcut. So I have a minus 32 and a minus 96. I set them both equal to 0. And I get x equals 32 or x equals 96. And let me scroll up. I think we were talking about feet. Yes. But let's go make sure they both make sense. Okay, because remember, the distance from the pole to the ground anchor, that's 56 feet less than the pole. So if it's 56 feet less than the pole, can it be x equals, 32? It cannot be this one, because if the pole is 32, then how would that distance, let me write it in here, how would this distance here be 56 feet less than 32? That just wouldn't make any sense. So our answer is just the 96 feet. All right, let's keep going. Just one more, okay? So this one, it didn't come with directions. I just got this picture in my email, and I'm guessing what they would like is an equivalent piece up in that upper part of the fraction, okay? So I have, in this one on the left here, I have an 8, and I have a y minus 8. So I see that I have the y minus 8 here. So my fraction over on the left is definitely not missing that factor. However, it is missing the factor of y plus 8. And is it missing another factor? It is. Okay, so if we look at this 40 right here, this 40 has the two factors of 8 and 5. Right? So that 40, it does have that factor of 8. That's what's here on the left. However, it's missing that factor of 5. So what this means is we're trying to figure out what is up top. And to make it equivalent, what we have up top already is a 5. And we want to multiply that by all of our missing factors. So we just said one missing factor was this 5 here. So times 5. And then another missing factor was this y plus 8. Okay, and now let's go ahead and simplify it here. So 5 times 5 will give me a 25 times the quantity y plus 8. Okay, now I'm not sure how the Hawks online system will work, but if it was on paper, I would actually love that answer right there. And why I would like that is because once we get to solving equations, you would be able to tell me that you saw some factors that would cancel out. So I'm hoping that the system will accept that as an answer. If they don't, though, you would just multiply it out. Okay, so it would just be a 25y, and then let me grab my calculator here. 25 times 8. Oh, 200. I should have known that. Why did I grab that? There we go. Okay, but again, hopefully they take this factored answer just because it's a nice way to set up kind of where we're going in class. All right, I hope that does it. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Have a great day. Thanks.